Hey guys, Tepcocyclerepair. Today we're going to be recharging the AC and fixing an issue with this 2009 Chevy Colorado. Alright, so it's time to get the AC charged up here. This one had a problem. When I got the truck, it had no AC. The compressor wasn't turning on, telling me that either the signal is not going to tell it to turn on, or there's not enough pressure in the system, which won't let the compressor turn on. So I hooked up my gauges to it and saw that there was no pressure in it. I did a leak down test on it, and the leak down was solid, just a vacuum test on it for 2 days, and it didn't leak anything. So I had a good feeling that the system was pretty sealed up. So what I did was charged up the system with 21 ounces of refrigerant, and when I took the valve off the high side, everything came shooting back out. So let me show you what's going on with these. So this is an 09 again. This is an 09 Chevy Colorado. Now inside of there's a valve, and it's not like a regular Schrader valve. So a regular Schrader valve is the same kind you have in a car, and it looks like that. And you can unscrew that. So I put a brand new one in here because that one was leaking a little bit as well. And now we're going to put a new one on here. Now the new one is, and this is a Santec AC. There's the part number right there. It's an MT0105-1 if you look that up. And if you look at this one, it has a rubber seal in there. And that rubber seal is what came out of that one. It's hard to tell, but that's just metal down there. That's not a rubber seal. So this one, usually with these older trucks, as soon as you put a gauge on here, it pushes it down. The rubber gets dried, and when you let it back up again, it doesn't seal all the way. So we're going to go ahead and take this one out. You can see it just screws in. You need a special socket for this. I'll put a link in the description for the socket. You can't use any socket out of your toolbox. None of them fit. It's a special 8-point socket, and it still doesn't even have any markings or anything on it. All right, I got it on Amazon, but I'll put a link in there. This is the only thing that fits it. So let me get this one unscrewed. And when I do unscrew it, I'm going to put, when it shot everything out, it shot a bunch of oil and everything out of there. I got a little contraption, a little mix right here. This is that visibility for the leak stuff, the leak dye, and about a ½ ounce of PAG oil. So let me open it up, put that in. Also guys, before you try to unscrew this one, make sure you support the hose with a 16mm, or else it'll twist and you'll damage it. It's not really tight, you just got to support it. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and put the oil and the dye inside of here. All right, so now with the new valve in, I'm going to vac the system. I'm going to throw it on an AC vac and leave it on there for about 30 minutes before I recharge it again. All right, we're looking good. All right, guys, so now the system is vac'd and ready to go. I know how much goes in here. Now, what I've been doing, and I'm not an AC guy, guys, so please take this a grain of salt, but this is how I've been doing a lot of my latest AC recharges. It's been working out really good. I just do it by weight. Now I have the gauges on here. They're going to tell me if anything gets really out of hand. But what I'll do is I'm just going to put in the correct amount by weight. So this truck takes 21 ounces of refrigerant. So these are 12 a piece. That's 24. And then when I put it on here, I always purge this a little bit here. And when I purge it on the 2 cans, it's going to drop some there. And I'll be right in that 21 to 23 ounce range, which seems to work out fine for this truck. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let me show you how I do it. Okay, now this is information I gained from AC Techs. I don't just wing it at this stuff. So if your system has some refrigerant in it already, you're going to need to know how much is in there and do it by weight and then do it by pressure. But I'm going with, this is a completely empty system. So what I'm going to do here is I have both of these closed right now, all right, and I have the can right here hooked up. I'm going to go puncture the can, and with these new cans it just pushes down. It's like a valve in there, similar to the valve that's in the high side. I'm going to open the can up. I'm going to purge the system. Truck is off right now. I'm going to open up my high side, and I'm going to dump the whole can in, this one complete can in, upside down, fluid straight in to the high side without the truck running. All right, so we're going to do that first. All right, so now with the can upside down, I'm just going to go ahead and open up the high side slowly. And just drop that whole can in. Truck is off, remember, truck is off. Now with your truck off, all these should be even. So see, we're here just passing up a little bit past 50. Same thing here. Almost empty already. All right, so when this can is done right here, I'm going to go ahead and shut the high side. All right, I'm watching it here. You see it's still coming in. Okay, so when that stops, I'm going to shut the high side off, and this can should be completely empty. All right, you can see we've got nothing else coming in here. I'm going to go ahead and shut the high side off. Okay, now we're going to put the new can on, purge the system, and then start the truck. Put the AC on high. And the reason I like doing it this way is because now that we have about a can in there, the compressor is going to start working and it'll suck the other side in faster. So let's go back outside. Okay, now with the vehicle running, it's important that you know you only want to charge the low side here. So now I'm going to start charging the low side. So I'm going to slowly open this up, all right, and you'll see it start coming in. There we go. We're going to go ahead and dump this entire can in here, and that'll get us right to where we need to be. I got this barely cracked, so it's just slowly seeping in. And then with the truck running, it's sucking it in good. It's almost empty already. It's a pretty hot day out. It's probably around 85, 90 degrees out here. All right, and there we go. We're empty here. So I'm going to go ahead and close this side right here. We got everything closed off. Let's go check the temperature inside here. Oh yeah, nice and cold. Whew. That's what I'm talking about. Ice cold AC. And the system's really, I mean, that only took me a couple minutes to charge it. If you try to do just by gas, it takes forever. You got to get that liquid in there. Right, compressor sounds good. Everything looks good. I'm going to take everything off and shut it down. And for those of you curious here, this is what my gauges are looking at right now. Everything's good. All right, so let's get a temperature reading so we have an idea what we're looking at. It's just sitting here. I haven't even driven it yet. Get air. Alright guys, so it looks like it's hanging around 49 degrees. It feels awesome in here. It's 84 degrees out right now, so I think that's pretty good. I'm happy with it. Yeah, and the more I sit here, the colder it's getting. This system is good. Alright guys, so that's it. That's how I charge the AC system in a lot of the vehicles I've been getting. It's working out a lot better if you know the actual weight and convert it and just put the actual weight in there. And I do fluid the can upside down, all fluid in, and it sucks it in pretty quickly and empties that can out. So it's working great. This car's nice and cold, ready to go drive. So hopefully this helps you out. Please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell for further notifications. Until next time, guys, it's Tepcocyclerepair.